It's completely reprehensible. As soon as we got the letter from the Panorama programme a couple of weeks ago, detailing some of the content that they had, we suspended 10 officers and staff, and we're now working with the Independent Office of Police Complaints, who we invited in to work as quickly as possible to get them out of the get them off the payroll. They're suspended; they're not anywhere near the public anymore, but I want them off the payroll and gone as quickly as possible.
Commissioner, you've been in the job for 3 years.
Yeah.
You were brought in the wake of Sarah Everard's murder, and you promised to change the Met. But our footage, in which Met officers called for immigrants to be shot and revelled in the use of force, shows you've failed. How can you say you've been doing enough to change the force?
We've done an extraordinary amount. We're part way through the biggest counter-corruption initiative that policing has ever seen in this country. We've removed nearly 1,500 men and women from the organisation. It's 557 removed last year. Most of that stands on the brave men and women in the organisation who really care, who are reporting their colleagues for behaving disgracefully. We've cleared out an awful lot of the problem, but there is still more to do. I've not said that we're through it. It's going to be a relentless task, and we're all absolutely determined to give Londoners the policing they deserve in every case, not just in the majority of cases. It's helpful that BBC brought this to our attention, and we will follow through ruthlessly on that. What the programme I think also shows is, and you see some of the commentary there where people talking about they're afraid of our professional standards departments, they're hiding their behaviour, and we're now diving deeper into the organisation, having cleared out an awful lot of people, diving deeper into the organisation to find these corrupt and toxic networks and cliques. We're using counter-terrorism tactics. We're using specialist data and intelligence tools to identify and find them. And we're going to be putting even more support around our whistleblowers who step forward to make sure that we can finish the job off that we've made such big progress on. But Londoners watching this, I completely get it. You're going to be upset and angry that police officers are that this group of police officers have got such toxic views.
After you took over, Baroness Louise Casey said in her review that the Met is institutionally racist and misogynistic. You've refused to accept that. Given the BBC's evidence, were you wrong?
I've been really clear that we have long-term systemic problems in the organisation that go to culture, history of leadership, the regulatory framework around us. There's a whole range of factors that means that there are systemic issues that have to be rooted out. But we're also an organisation that is showing its absolute determination to do that. The fact that 1,400 men and women in the last couple of years have stepped forward and made these reports is indicative of that. The fact that we've rooted out more than any police force has ever done before is indicative of that. And I know you want to draw me on the words. I'm using plain language because we're practical people. The thing that's going to make a difference is not words. The thing that's going to make a difference is the action, and it's the ruthless action and relentless action that we're taking week in and week out as we're identifying and throwing these people out of policing. Meanwhile, the front door matters. We've doubled the failure rate at our point of entry to the organisation as we're making far tougher and more robust vetting decisions, so we're not adding to the problem in the future.
Well, you say that they're just words, but people will feel that how can you remove racism and misogyny from the force if you don't accept the institutional nature of the problems?
We're showing how we can do that. I say we've removed 1,500 people. Some commissioners in the past have used that language, some haven't. That hasn't fixed the problem. What we're doing is fixing the problem, removing record numbers of people, putting our top counter-terrorism and organised crime detectives in charge of doing that and using their covert tactics, using every tactic possibly available to remove those people, as well as creating the safe environment for whistleblowers to come forward as they are doing in record numbers. But of course there's more to do that. You can see in this programme that there are some of the comments overheard by colleagues who are angry and upset, and clearly they didn't step forward because I think they were seeing sergeants behaving badly and they were nervous about stepping forward. So there's still more we can do on that. But I'm so proud of all the officers and staff who have stepped forward and made a difference so far, and we will keep bearing down on it.